Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Kobe.
There we go. What up, though, people? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward.
Let's go.
We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo crew.
Woo, woo.
Hey, it's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons writer.
That's him.
Over here, we got Matthew Broder, our credential Tigers and Lions reporter and writer. There's a lot for this show as well. What up, though, man?
What up,
Good
dude?
morning.
Good. You have a good weekend, Kool-Aid?
You know what? It was a weekend.
It was a
Let's say
weekend.
that, man. Yeah, it was a good weekend, actually. We, yesterday, we took the kids out to a splash park. We took them out to a regular park.
Yeah.
We took them out to a farmer's market, man. They were able to go out there and get popcorn, shaved ice cream.
Family outing.
Just had a good family day.
It was a beautiful weekend, so perfect to get out there with the family. That's awesome.
Yeah, but man, whole day, tired, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, that's what Monday's
Whole
about.
day tired.
This is why, think about how many people are tired in the chat. They're coming to Woo to wake up. Coming to start the week off right.
Wake
It
up
was a
Woodward.
big weekend. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce
What about
everyone
you,
else?
man? No. How was your weekend?
Shoot.
Come on,
Oh, man. No, it was good. It was pretty, not lazy, but productively simple. I watched a lot of Tigers, man. It was a compelling weekend. Actually, I celebrated my brother's birthday on Friday. Went to Kyoto.
what's up?
Kyoto in Royal Oak. Have you ever been?
Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's a go-to
love it.
for birthdays in our family. One of the best. Hibachi, if you don't know Kyoto, a Benihana type. Kyoto's just kind of like the neighborhood joint.
I love Kyoto.
Yeah.
Man. I love it. Whether we love it so much that when we got pregnant and couldn't go out as much, bro, we had that mug on Uber Eats speed dial, bro.
So they do a phenomenal job in delivery. Like, you know, some places, especially you worry about with so many options there, they pack it up nicely. They separate the layers so the stuff doesn't drip. It's a well-run establishment.
Hey, sweetie, I know you're watching. We gotta get some Kyoto for lunch today. Shut up, Matthew, brother. Hey, but you know what, man? Let's welcome the rest of the crew in. That dude, Justin. What up, though? I love the gear. I really do. And the shoes, too, man. I love it. I love it.
What up, no? I had a great weekend. Excited to be here. Excited for another great week of Woo crewing. And yeah, how you been doing? The family outing sounded amazing.
Yeah.
I can't lie. Like spending that much time with your kids and your wife. Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
it was nice, man. Especially after the last week. Obviously, we were out in Vegas. So when we got back, the kids were like happy to see us. And it was cool to just kind of take that time where nothing else mattered but them. So
Facts.
it was awesome. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. That is KG,
What up?
a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
What up, man? Happy to be
A.k.a.
back.
Calvin Shepherd.
Yeah, I'm not Calvin Shepherd.
A.k.a. Stevie
we can stop with that. We can stop with
Sometimes
that.
Morpheus.
I got those glasses in my bag too, man.
Let's
but
go.
Great weekend, man. The Tigers, amazing, man. Are they buying? Are they selling? We don't really know. Got some NCAA in, man.
winning.
All weekend long. Sorry, wifey, I pissed her off, but
Of course you did. Of course you
it had to
did.
be done, man. I'm bringing James Madison up from the ashes. So.
Hey, hold on. You know what?
Yes.
No. For real. Look into the camera, KG. Give her an apology, like a real one. But it got to be real because you're not apologizing as if you're going to not play the game.
All right.
So you got to apologize, but you got to let her know what the deal
I
actually
already
is.
told her this first week about to be rough for her, man. She got to strap in. But baby, Deshira, Mari, Honor, I'm sorry. I love you, but you know what it is, man. I got to kick asses this weekend. Looking forward to that tournament too, man.
Let's go. We got to make sure we get that up on socials. Because we already know there's a lot of you out there that got to take that same apology, man. I hear you over there in the TD booth. Shout out to JB Smooth, Woodward Sports' MVP. What up, though, brother?
What's going on? So I don't have to give like a full apology like KG did because
Not a full one, huh?
not a full one, maybe a half one, just because My girl had some things to do as well this weekend, so
you
it kind of
lucky
like
bastard.
left me alone at the house. But the problem here is, I did not receive the game until 5 o'clock on Saturday. So I was very upset this whole entire time.
Damn.
Checked the tracking. It said Friday. Check back again. Next thing you know, it says Saturday.
They played.
And I'm like, oh my, come on, man. So basically, Saturday from like 6 o'clock on to like maybe 4 in the morning, I was just on the game.
So you probably actually had like more sympathy than anything.
Yeah. See, everyone should
That
be
worked out
sympathetic
kinda
towards
for you,
me.
man.
Like, I didn't get to play enough, like, you know, Justin and KG did.
No, I didn't get to play all weekend. I didn't play all weekend.
Get out of here.
Ooh.
No, I'm dead ass. I was at a festival. I didn't play all weekend.
This guy.
Oh,
You got to start tracking these festivals for the network.
Yeah.
That would be great for the culture. You got to start doing this. But Mike G said this, man. We talked about the family day. This is one of the places we were thinking about going, which is Belle Isle. He said, I had friends do the Belle Isle giant slide this past weekend, and they ended up in Windsor.
They still alive?
Yo,
Like,
no, I heard that slide was opening back up, and you know what? It was probably one of the best trending videos at one point in time. But do you remember what was happening to the kids?
No, I
They was
remember.
flying
Trust
off
me, they
that
was
thing. What do you mean?
Bouncing up and down a metal slide, bro, and then getting tossed off like, yeah, we're done with you. Sheesh,
Good old
man.
Belle Isle, man.
Good old Belle Isle. But Matthew Broder, would you like to tell people?
Yeah, it sounds like I'm the only one who got some rest this weekend. I got you guys today. I'll just talk the rest of the show. No, you guys are on that CD Lamb grind. You see that video, that post from Dove Kleiman about CD Lamb, you know, showing up to his 7 a.m. workout after being up playing NCAA or college football 25 until 3 a.m.
Yep.
And he
Amazing
captioned
game.
it. He captioned it built different. Like Dove, whoever this man is behind the scenes. Is this safe to say, like, built different would actually be like going to bed at a reasonable hour?
What is a reasonable hour?
Like, if you're in the NFL, maybe 10 p.m. so you can wake up and have a really good 7 a.m. workout.
I went to bed at 10:30 last night.
Hell, see, and you're ready.
Do you count that as a win?
Yeah, I did.
That's a
Honestly,
win.
I do count it as a win because it took everything out of me. My boys texted me to start our dynasty, and they were like, "Yo, Justin, can you hop on NCAA?" And I was like, "Nah, dog, I can't. I gotta wake up early in the morning. I'm sorry."
Bro,
So,
what happened at this festival?
Built different.
I was up until 5 a.m. both nights.
Because
So
I'm about to say, this sounds
Yeah.
more as if you crashed and that you emptied the absolute tank.
no, I did. I emptied the tank.
Oh my
I
God.
slept 3 hours from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then I went to bed at 10:30 to wake up this morning to have that energy, boy. Let's go.
Yeah, we going to have you start, take a camera out there, man, get some content at these festivals. That's like 3 festivals in his short time on Woo Crew already.
That's what they do. Like that keeps you going though. My little brother's the same way or was the same way. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. As long as you're safe, like be safe.
I am
which
safe,
you are. It
and
seems
it's
like
how
you are.
it's how I come and I refresh my energy and I come ready to play.
Yeah.
Like
You know
now
what? Let
this
us
whole
live
week I'm ready to go.
vicariously through your experiences then.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
rock.
Yeah, just like the Tigers needed a little break, the All-Star break. We were worried it came at a bad time. They stayed hot. I know they had the Blue Jays lined up. They took care of business. We're going to talk a lot of Tigers in the first half of the show. Both review the weekend. Review some of the things their minor league up-and-coming stars did and
Some moves. that were
some
made,
moves.
right? Yeah.
We'll say that. And then before we finish the Tigers segments in this first hour, I want to know, chat and crew, like what does buying mean to you?
What are they doing, man?
I know, like, what are they doing? We've been talking about selling, or we've been talking a lot about Scooble and Flaherty just as individual trades, but we're 8 days away from the trade deadline. What could a buy mean? I want to ask you guys that. Then we're going to get into some Lions. Training camp started Saturday. Veterans report tomorrow. And they really get kicking. They really get rolling on Wednesday.
sir.
On Wednesday. So
Almost
it's
time.
happening.
Okay, that's a set of caffeine.
They back.
So we're going to be talking about them.
They
We're going to be
back.
talking about Frank Ragnow, who was on some podcasts of his own. It's just, it's time we show some love for, we talk about Penei Sewell a lot, but the leader of that offensive line is Frank Ragnow. We got to give him some love.
Hey, you know, it's time to drum it up.
It is.
Travis Barker.
How about that?
All right.
Rock.
But first, you guys see yesterday, Jim Leland inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You damn right.
Yeah. Real quick, just around the horn. Do you agree with him being in the Hall of Fame? As a Detroit Tigers fan, he went in with no. hat not from any one of the 3 teams he managed, so he wanted to show respect to all 3. But we got to give him congrats. I love Jim Leland. Yeah. He didn't win a World Series here, which some people are pushing back on. But any Leland memories or comments just about him going in to the Hall of Fame, boys?
Jeez, man, I'm looking around trying to figure out what flannel is right now. But yeah, I'm all for Jim Leland in the Hall of Fame. When you talk about those kind of culture guys, you saw him come here to the Detroit Tigers and absolutely change things after a long dead period of Detroit Tigers baseball without a lot of hope to be there. So if they did have a good season, it wasn't as if we were like, you know what, this is something that we know is going to be here for a long time. But during those Jim Leland years, we knew that we had an opportunity to win it every single year. That's what I liked about it. And it was really the charisma, man. Yeah. I remember when they won, I forget which year they won the AL. It was 2 or 3 times. And it's just kind of how authentic he was, how original he was. That's what I loved about Jim Leland. He didn't hold back. Yeah. He's going to tell you what he was thinking. He's going to tell you how he was feeling. And I loved him for it.
He'll tell Barry Bonds how he's feeling, how he's thinking.
Damn
He'll
right,
tell
man.
anybody. KG.
Hey, congratulations to Skip for finally getting in the Hall of Fame, man. Well deserved. I know, at least to me, he will always be remembered more as a Tiger. I know he won his World Series, I believe, with Seattle.
No, it was with the Marlins.
It was with the Marlins. Yeah, Florida Marlins. And
won it with the Marlins, kind of known for the Pirates.
Of
we
course,
know him for the Tigers. Sorry, go ahead.
The only time the Tigers have been a winning organization in my lifetime was with Jim Leland at the helm, man. So shout out to him. I'll never forget how he always used to argue with the smoke cigarettes in the dugout. Man, he was him, man. He was him. And a lot of what he does is kind of reminds me of what Dan Campbell is today. A little less edgy, but the same type of approach. So shout out to Jim Leland, man.
I like that. He was a perfect bridge from a traditional manager to the modern day, modern baseball, connecting with, the younger kids that were coming up. The Verlanders and Scherzers of the world.
And the only reason we ain't win is that damn 6-day rest, man. I stand on that for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Hey, he wasn't perfect as a manager here, but we remember a lot of good when he was skipper here in Detroit. The other Detroit team owned by the Ilitch family, the Detroit Red Wings. Joe Veleno. Joe Veleno is back on a 2-year deal. I believe he was a restricted free agent. They signed him 2 years, $4.55 million. Jesus, 24-year-old, 6'1", 201-pound forward. This is a depth piece, third or fourth liner. Just tell me a little bit about what this signing means, why they do it.
This signing is a depth piece. He's going to be your fourth-line center. He's going to slide in there. He's 24, still has room to grow. I like the signing. It's not much risk here. He's younger than Sprong as well. This move, it was with the cap table, they had to choose between Veleno and they had to choose between Sprong, so they chose Veleno. So they obviously believe that Veleno has the potential to reach what Sprong was for this team. So I hope that Veleno one day can get to that third line, but for now, he's a very solid fourth liner to hold down the bottom of this bottom center spot for this Red Wings team.
I love it. I didn't realize he was so young, by the way. 24 years old. I'll take it. 2 years, 4.5 doesn't seem like a lot. So there we go. Joe Veleno is back. Last thing before we get to the next segment. Team USA, the men's team.
Yes, sir.
Team USA. They narrowly escaped a historic upset at the hands of the South Sudan. It took a LeBron James layup with 8 seconds left to take a 101-100 lead. Team USA against South Sudan. So tell me, Jaylen Brown. No, how does this happen? Why is it so close?
I think sometimes it is difficult to play your best at all times. Sometimes you play down to your level of competition, and we've seen this before in the Olympics. Sometimes it's snake bitten the team, and they've lost. They've third place, or have had some disappointing finishes that didn't really meet the expectation. I think this is what we saw here. They just played down to the level of competition.
And I haven't really been following it quite yet, but you think they should, I'll just give you my opinion. They should be good enough to beat them by 20 in their sleep. Having a bad day. I think they should win by 25 playing with their opposite hand. They were 43.5-point favorites. I totally get there's a team aspect to it. They gotta learn how to play together, but it doesn't seem like it should even be close.
It shouldn't. You would think that just the sheer talent, and that's why I said that these guys, they absolutely fell asleep at the wheel, man. That's the only thing I can think of. The only other thing is the coaching. What is the coach doing in the dead of heat to make the right adjustments and the changes?
Yeah. Steve Kerr's the head coach?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, we're just asking the questions, right?
Exactly.
Hey, that's all.
Well, come on back. We're talking Tigers. There were a couple of future stars, some names that are going to be talked about a lot over the next couple of years. Good things happen to them this weekend, and from every level of this organization, we have a lot to talk about. So come on back. But Kool-Aid first, tell them if you're looking to feed those Tigers, the Lions.
Oh, yeah, I can tell them exactly the best place to do that. Just like I know the chat family's the best when they're smashing that like button, going ahead and hit that like button to support the Woo Crew. But give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference, though. They've been family and locally owned for over 30-plus years. They carry 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. They also offer same-day, local, curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. They have the same great service that their customers have come to know and trust. So go check them out. If you need a car, you need a lease, you need to buy, go check them out on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. You can also check out their flagship dealership in Dearborn today. Head to LesStanford.com. That's Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down Woodward. You guys already know the legendary, the historic Woodward Avenue. Not always got to say this after that read because it's true, man. This is story, man. 4 pro sports teams on the same road. The only sports city in America like that.
Shout out to Detroit.
Hey, shout out to Detroit.
Shout out to you.
And you know what? We're going to get into Tigers for the next 1, 2, or 3 segments. They've earned it. We're going to talk about that. I'm glad we've remained optimistic. I'm glad that you said at the beginning of it, we're going to see a lot of bad baseball, a lot of ugly baseball, and some good baseball. But it's going to be a roller coaster that ultimately lands with them being what we see them all right now. They had a chance to get 500. They won the series, but they lost the game, which dropped them 2 games under 500. But I do got to mention, I know it's just summer league, but the Detroit Pistons, they did play a couple games. Had a couple losses, but I just wanted to shout out Ron Holland, who had a really I think he had some good games the last couple games. And the last one, you talk about that efficiency, KG, just really quickly. He did have 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals as well. He's one of those guys that I saw a couple websites out there making their first team all summer leagues. He's one of those guys that's making like the second or honorable mention type when they're bringing him up because he's had a pretty decent, consistent summer league. I just wanted to be able to shout him out. Last night, man, he was efficient, bro. He was like 9 to 16 and 2 of 5. Yep. And then he took that last 3. And it was like, no!
And we got to see a little bit of that defense, too. And that's what I've been waiting to see out of him is some of that dominant defense. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ron Holland. Shout out to his team and everything, his camp. Hey, I like the way he looked.
Reverse dunk was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to cue that up for what's trending.
That was so sick. Oh, my God.
He's had a couple good dunks. And remember what we did? When we did the recap of Ron Holland, he said, look, that 2-handed poster, that was sick, but I'm trying to get something that even nastier than that. It was cool to see him go out there, call a shot, and do it as well as be that guy that we saw him be in the G League Ignite. Right now, things are translating. If he could take exactly what he is right now into the season, he's going to get some playing time. He's going to get some playing time. But let's get into these Detroit Tigers. I appreciate you, Matthew Broder, for letting me just take a second there to talk Ron Holland and kind of just put a bow on Summer League for the Pistons. But
you reminded me they're even playing.
Yeah. But the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers, man. Like, it's... Man, if they would have won, obviously the energy would have been completely big bat energy, but they are 2 games under 500 with the deadline approaching, just making this thing one big happy mess.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you do? What do they do? They're saying, hey, you got the manager who's consistently come out and just kind of spoken his mind for whatever reason more this season than I can ever remember AJ Hinch doing. Like, I want to buy. I don't even know if that's what the front office is going to do. I don't even know how they make that happen. You've made some great points here the last couple of shows about what the Tigers need to at least consider, what's real, what's possible, what it means if you bring back a Scooble, what it means if you trade a Scooble, and so forth. There's so much going on here, man. They're winning. They got to make a decision. Where do we start with these Tigers?
Yeah, we start with the future. We start with the timeline that they're building around. That tells us at least a little bit the long-term strategy of Scott Harris's front office and ownership. And again, there are variables in play that we need ownership in the front office to address or to that will dictate how a trade deadline goes. But for the time being and for the future, what's in the organization now is worth being excited about. Max Clark, Kevin McGonigle, they get moved up from low A, from single A to high A to the West Michigan Whitecaps. It's the Detroit Tigers high A affiliate. They did so, and I don't believe they knew they were getting moved up during the game, but in their final game in single A with the Flying Tigers, they both had multi-hit games. Mm-hmm. They both hit a home run, and they took over that game. I believe the team won, but it's an exciting game. They find out right after, hey, hop in your cars, head on up to West Michigan Whitecaps. So this is just the beginning of their transcendence, their upward trajectory through the Tiger system. I expect them to be there for the rest of the season, finish the season with West Michigan. I doubt those two are going to be part of like a September call-up. Oh, there we go. Look at all this aura. Mm-hmm. That's the term the kids use these days, right? Aura. No, this is Max Clark, Tigers' top prospect and the number 10 prospect in all of baseball. And Kevin McGonigle, the Tigers' number 4 prospect, and I believe number 63 in all of baseball. They've both been absolutely raking. Max Clark is the better defender, but Kevin McGonigle, he's been great at shortstop too. This is part of the future, so they get moved up, and it's worth shouting out. We'll see how soon they can make it to the bigs.
And that was after a couple home runs for Max Clark in the last few games.
They've both been raking. McGonigle's been raking since he stepped foot. Yes. Clark had a few weeks at the beginning where he was figuring some things out, again, a high school kid, but then he started to turn it on. And his defense and everything he does outside of the batter's box, which is the hardest to adjust to, he's going to be special.
So, well then, all right, so answer me this then. For people who might not be as familiar with like the minor leagues or in depth, Max Clark and McGonigle, one, your excitement from just a level of 1 to 10, and then how soon can we expect them to be here and make a difference in the big team?
Yeah, my excitement for both of them is a 9.5 to 10. Like, these are two guys who.
So they're those dudes.
They're those dudes. Yeah. They're those dudes. Max Clark especially. He was the they pick him number 3 in the draft last year. He's the future. Part of the future outfield. Is that with Parker Meadows? Is that with Riley Green? To be determined. But he's that future. He's someone you can get really excited about. And when you see him play, it's one that'll bring fans to the ballpark.
That's high praise from you. 9.5.
Yeah, he plays in a very excitable way. He has fun out there. He's a smart baseball player, and he's just a good kid. McGonigle, too. He's one who I didn't know much about before the draft, if I'm being honest, and he's just continued to rake. Like, the dude is hitting his face off and has recently been upgraded to like the number 63 prospect in baseball from, I believe, being off of the list. So how long can we expect? At least 2 years. We'll count this as year 1. Yeah. My guess is they spend all of next year in the minor leagues, whether that's high A again. My guess is they get moved up to double A at some point. Do they taste triple A? Do they make the September roster next season when they expand? To be determined, but call it 2 years. Call it 2026 before we can count on them to, be in that Colt Keith, Parker Meadows. All right, you're up at the bigs. You're not a consistent contributor quite yet, but you're up there.
It just raises even more questions because then it's like, okay, so if that's the window, then what moves do they realistically make right now?
That's all going to factor in.
School, the young players, like the windows, like
this is, and when I keep pummeling the questions because we're painting a timeline here of how this organization is laid out, where in about 15 minutes from now, it should all come together of, all right, considering things that are happening at the big league levels, AAA, AA, single A, what do we do? Because at the AA level, there's another future Tiger star.
Sir.
KG just had the biggest smile. I know you might not believe it. He's got the biggest smile on his face in there because Jackson Jobe.
I'm so mad he dropped
He's
the smile
coming.
right for the camera.
Jackson Jobe is coming.
Hey, talk to me about Jackson Jobe.
Well, first, let me tell you about Jackson Jobe, and then you talk to me about him because, so just going to read you what happened this weekend.
Yes, sir.
He had a combined no-hitter. He threw 6 no-hit innings, 5 Ks, 2 walks. This is with Erie. This is with the Erie Seawolves. Double A Erie. He threw a no-hitter. This season, he's had 8 games started, 32 2/3, and he's pitched a 1.38 ERA, 45 Ks, 16 walks. But again, a combined no-hitter. Him, Jake Higginbotham, Matt Seelinger, and Garrett Hill. Jackson Jobe is someone we might see sooner, but KG, talk to me about Jackson Jobe. This is part of the more immediate future.
Yes.
Of the team.
And I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that, but he's just a guy that he just has the stuff, man. His swing and miss stuff, absolutely unbelievable. You can see him maybe being a future ace for this team if anything were to happen to Schoolbull. But even if you do keep Schoolbull, he can definitely be your number 2 going forward, man, in this pitching rotation. I really look forward to what this kid can do once he gets raised up to the AAA or maybe even the MLB level, which leads me to my question. I know it's a long shot, but is there any chance with the Reese Olson injury happening? You got Kenta Maeda. He didn't look so good in relief. I don't know if you want to throw him back in that starting spot. Is it crazy to think that maybe they can call him up this year?
No, it's not crazy, and it might even mean skipping AAA.
Yeah, straight to the bid.
Now it might not happen. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but they're the outside, the external factors, although internal to the Tigers organization, are in play where they need pitching.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll see at the deadline. I don't think he comes up before the deadline, like in the next 8 days. Yeah. To be determined if he comes up before September or if he's a September call-up. Rosters expand. I believe it's to 40, and that's where major league teams bring up a lot of their prospects. When is to be determined, but he's their best pitcher.
Like in the organization, it looks like.
Yes.
Besides Tarek Schoolbull, he's probably the best pitcher in the organization, period.
Man.
You might be right. He's the Tigers' number 2 prospect. He has special potential, like stuff just under Paul Skeens type stuff, like talking upper 90s, hitting 100, nasty off-speed stuff. He has battled 2 injuries so far in his professional. He's 21 in his professional career. He's battled 2 pretty serious injuries. Come back, still looks good, and is still part of this future. But he's on an innings limit. He's being watched very closely. The timing may be affected by how many innings he's pitched. Come September, do you call him up? Are the Tigers still in it? And again, we're going to come back to Jobe in about 10 minutes, but he's part of the future. We might see him sooner rather than later.
I want to talk. Yeah, I definitely want to talk more about this because this is interesting, man.
Let's do it when we come back out.
Everybody happy, but Derek G said, "Broder, you are high. It's not happening. They won't rush him at all. It's appropriate.
Yeah, no, I said it's a long.
What's next up?
When did I say they're bringing him up tomorrow?
Exactly.
I just literally for 5 minutes explained there's a chance.
Yeah,
maybe it's not before the deadline.
I said it was a long shot.
I'm coming at Derek. I get they're taking him cautious. I think this organization is a little less eager to go all in and make moves than us Tigers fans and Tigers Twitter, especially Tigers Twitter. Yeah. So let's chill a little bit.
Yeah. But if you are high,
there's a chance.
Would you have gone?
What was that?
So if you were high, where would you have gone?
I would go to Dispo. I would go to Dispo because this summer, Dispo Dispensary is turning up the heat with amazing giveaways and exclusive offers. So enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey and helmet from your favorite sports team. Screenshot this image with the QR code, bring it into one of the locations to get scanned, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store. This will automatically qualify you for the giveaway. Again, Dispo Dispensary. Go visit them today. Go to disposhops.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There's like more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. You know what? At Planet Fitness, you can experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment. They got a friendly, knowledgeable staff and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. All Planet Fitness memberships, they also include fitness training for no extra cost. If you want all the perks, all of them, because they got a Black Card spa, you need that Black Card. Upgrade to the PF Black Card. Enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the spa, hydro massage, massage chairs, total body enhancement, and more, along with access to all 2,500 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges at any of those locations with the Black Card. So for more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com.
What up, dog people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward.
Wake up!
Talking the Detroit Tigers. They've woken up, man. Their season is not dead. They've leapfrogged some teams as it relates to the wild card race. They've given themselves an opportunity, and not just because they have kind of closed this gap, but because multiple times this season they've shown that they're going to be resilient, and you can't count them out. And you got certain bats starting to heat up. Early on in the season when they were being resilient, it was because the pitching was so dominant. Right now, you have the pitching still doing okay, but if those bats continue to turn on one by one, if they continue to stay consistent, then this team is in a position where they're talking about potentially buying. A.J. Hinch said that, not my words.
That is A.J. Hinch's words.
So it is a
we
conversation.
have to address it. We do. Because I don't think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Made all of that more difficult with an injury that occurred in Game 2, which we'll get to. But Game 1, we needed after this All-Star break, we all wanted Flaherty not only to come out and be healthy, but to come out and just continue to pitch as well as he has all year. And that's what he did. 5.2 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts to 1 walk.
Yeah.
He gave up an absolute rocket launcher to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And kind of fell apart after that. But he was the Flaherty we wanted to see. Keep his trade value up. Good news. Put that over to the side. Let that just sit there for a hot minute. Green, Perez, and Canna. 3 guys who we need for this team to be successful. You need these 3 guys to play well consistently. Green had an RBI single in that game. 2-run homer from Wenzel Perez and a 2-run homer from Mark Canna, who this weekend looked a lot healthier than he has this weekend. And he talked about that too. Like his swing, he's feeling a lot better. He just needed a couple days off. He's someone, maybe the Tigers count on him down the stretch.
Yeah.
Maybe he's traded. Likely he's traded. But good to see him show up. Game 2. Oh, yeah, Tigers won that game 5-4. Game 2. This is where it got exciting. Well, it was kind of a polarizing game because Tigers Twitter lost their minds. Riley Green and Colt Keith.
They didn't play.
Got the day off going against Yusei Kikuchi, a really strong left-handed pitcher. We'll talk about that day off. Reese Olson pitched 2 decent innings. and then left with an injury. We'll talk about that too. But Jake Rogers grand slam in the 5th. That was a difference maker. They won 7-3. Kenta Maeda came in, pitched one really good inning and one really Maeda inning. One really bad inning. It was the one they gave up 3 runs. 3 runs. Was it a 3-run? Was it a home run? He was old Kenta Maeda, starting lineup Kenta Maeda, starting rotation. Pitched poorly. They won 7-3. Yesterday, though, 5-4 loss to the Blue Jays. George Springer, Tigers killer. Never killed me.
Well, of course.
But
struck him out.
Tigers killer. Oh, wait, look. Is that the box score for when I faced George Springer? Struck out looking? If Kaider Montero would have just listened to me.
Hold on. Struck out looking, though. You froze the man.
Froze the man.
You froze him.
Frozen. Two-seamer on the outside part of the plate. Just standing there with the bat on his shoulder. Actually, he right-handed. Little jab.
He don't want no
if
smoke.
Montero would have just asked if game 1, what was it? Brisky? If they would have just asked, I would have said throw him something soft, something moving. Away.
Yeah.
No, they decided to challenge him in. And you know what he did all weekend?
He killed the Tigers, man.
4 for 12, 4 runs, 6 RBIs, 3 home runs. He was the Tigers killer this weekend. But there we go. I'll pull a little back from myself. They lost that game, unfortunately. But okay, so here are the notes we got to talk about. Let's start having a conversation. I just presented it to you. First off, Green and Cole Keith. Any of you had before the game? Did any of you have a problem with them sitting or questions of them sitting Green and Cole Keith on Saturday?
Of course, you have questions as to why they're doing it. I chopped it up as maybe they just wanted to give him an extra day's rest. Riley Green, he's been playing more center field lately, a little taxing on the legs, and he's been relatively healthy this year. So I can understand, maybe why they wanted to give him a little bit of a break. Didn't really understand Colt Keith, but it is what it is. But of course, it raised questions, though.
Yeah. Anybody else? Tigers Twitter was up in arms, literally calling for AJ.
I was just confused. I was just confused because I mean, at the end of the day, they can't play every game, but at the same time, in the same game, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Right?
He's addicted to that lefty-righty matchup, man. He always wants the best possible matchups, even at the expense of everyday players sometimes.
And that's what I was going to say. It's something that we've seen him kind of do before. So it's though you question it, you're almost like, okay, this is kind of an AJ Hinch thing.
Mm-hmm. And that played into it. And we've talked even on the show, especially when Flannel's here, of there's a time and there's certain players where you got to remove the platoon strategy and just let them get their at-bats against lefties. Colt Keith and Riley Green included. For this one, though, this was strategic. This was, if I'm going to find a day off to give them, I know the All-Star break just happened, but we have someone who literally snacks on left-handed hitters. So just from a matchup perspective, okay, check number 1. An opposing pitcher snacks on lefties. They got 10 righties coming up in a row. So you're going to play those guys 10 straight games in a row. And Riley Green, he's had injury concerns in his past. He's on some plan. He's only missed 1 game this year. He's been healthy, and he's been an all-star. Yeah. When are we going to start trusting some of these moves, whatever the overall plan is medically for Riley Green and all the players, to just strategically pick a game against the Blue Jays, against a good pitcher against lefties? Riley Green was just in the All-Star game, too, so he didn't exactly get 6 days off.
Right.
He's been traveling to Texas and back. Why not this game? We got a bunch of AL Central games coming up. Just sneak it in.
Yeah.
For calling for his job before the game even starts.
And
crazy. Good Lord.
Because when you look at kind of the schedule ahead of you and being able to maybe make some type of ground in the AL Central, I do believe the AL Central race is over for the Tigers. But go out there and perform well against your own division. Go out there and build up some confidence, because if you don't win some of these games, then we start talking about, are the wheels going to pop off soon? The fact that they were actually able to perform against the Dodgers, perform against the Guardians, and a couple other teams, including the Blue Jays, is the reason why we're able to sit here right now with optimism. Yeah. Everybody is happy. You remember where we were just about a month ago? That dude Justin was ready to cancel all Detroit Tigers fandom, bro.
I remember that.
He was going through it.
Oh, yeah. I took some strays on your Friday night show with in the TD booth. I turned it on, and all of a sudden, within 5 seconds, I hear something about Yeah, and Broder was this and that. It's just, I just fucking disagree. And like, huh? How am I getting strays?
I can't lie. The drinks were flowing and the boys were having a good time. I might have got a little loose.
Let's just remember, you're recorded on the internet forever.
I am recorded on. I forget that sometimes. I can't lie.
I'm going to continue to bring it up because I've latched on to this philosophy since you stated it. That this team is going to be one of those squads that at the end of the year we're going to be looking at about a 500, winning team. And to me, like when we talk about the Pistons, if they got the 25 or 30, we'll be like, okay, cool. It's still bad, but it's like cool. And with the Tigers though, if they got to 500, if they ended the season there or slightly above, it's like, yo, this team is headed in the right direction. They showed they can do something during an assessment year that we haven't seen any of the other teams during their rebuilds do. Even the Lions. Underneath Brad Holmes in our assessment year went 3-13. You got Scott Harris saying, hey, this is the assessment year. We see them doing and trying different things. And this team is still staying afloat while the bats for half a season were absolutely
snoozing.
Dead, bro. Yeah. Absolutely dead. No, not just snoozing, but they had to be brought back to life. Like something. It was, and that's what I'm saying. Now, we're just now getting a taste of this team with a little bit of life in the bats and seeing some hope from some of the young players that we were hoping. If there's an assessment year, then we're hoping that these are the guys that are stepping up to the plate. Otherwise, how wasted is it? Because like you keep pointing out, where are really the options?
Perfect. Cool. What a great transition because these options, and let's just jump right into this deadline scenario. I want to focus on buying. I want to know what does buying mean to you? But
can I ask you a question first? Because I want to know why we sent down Kool-Aid.
Yes, thank you. I want to ask that too.
What'd you say?
I disagree. Actually, go ahead.
No, Kool-Aid's been racking at the plate, man, lately. I understand defensively he hasn't been the best, but I don't know why you sent him down in favor of a guy that he looked like he was overwhelmed at the MLB level. And Kenna's been playing good at first. I didn't understand that send down and that call up.
See, I wish Tigers Twitter would be more enraged about this than about giving Riley Green, because it's matchup driven. This is where I think the platooning maybe took it a little too far. Like, because it's totally because they got this stretch of right-handed pitching coming up. Ryan Valade's a right-handed hitter. He stayed up for the lefty. Now they brought up the lefty swinging Bly Madris to be that bat against right-handed hitters. It's not like Valade was hitting 400, but I loved him out there.
He was good.
We talked about he's a dirtbag in the best way. Like, I just like the energy that he brought to this team. I didn't like that move.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. So I take it you didn't like it either.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, Valade's been playing solid. Like, I didn't think that there was even remotely a chance that happened, and I just saw it on Saturday, and I was like, what?
Yeah. He gives you juice at the bottom of the lineup, man.
For sure.
And
he brings an energy, too. I feel like there's a little bit of an energy to him. He's a big blocker room guy. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not in there, but it seems like he gives off that presence that like a glue guy gives off, and he's a good glue guy as well.
Yeah. So, it's players like that really can ignite a young team, and not that they were a young team, but you look back to the Quentin Berries, the Nook Logans, AAA call-ups that they might not have all their tools ready to like be a consistent MLB player, but when they get on base, they can steal second, or they're gonna hit. Like, they do things that impact the game that bring some excitement to it. Like Quinn Berry, that stretch he had, I forget what year, but right at the end of the season, really catapulted the Tigers. I can't remember the result of the season if they got into the playoffs, but there was a renewed energy in September for I want to say like a mediocre team.
Yeah,
Valade could be that dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. I really like him better than Kreidler and so far Bly.
Every time they've called on him, he's performed.
He has. But this trade deadline situation, we're going to get into it in the next segment, is thrown off by what happened in Game 2 on Saturday. I think this changes a lot. Reese Olson goes to the 15-day injured list. He's got right shoulder soreness. He pitched 2 innings on Saturday and then got removed. He was shaking his shoulder a little bit. Don't know how serious it is, but if we can't count on having Reese Olson for the remainder of this season, be ready. When we come back, I'm going to ask you guys, what does buying at the deadline mean to you? Let's talk about that when we come back.
What does it do for the Detroit Tigers in general? Like, how serious are they to be wild card contenders?
Yeah, sure.
So, you know what? But I appreciate you guys for staying tapped in with Wake Up Woodward. You guys see the sun is shining. Thank you, chat family. I hope you guys have hit that like button for the Woo Crew. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And after us, stay tapped in with the rest of Woodward Sports. Starting with Big D Energy. 11-1. You got 4-time Stanley Cup champion winner Darren McCarty alongside the Golden Voice Neil Rule. And after that, Ermanni Networks with Maz from 2 to 4. Lovable radio legend Tom Maswell alongside University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards alongside Detroit Media King Fox 2 Ryan Ermanni. After that, you got the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7 p.m. The big fellas. Shout out to Spilmo Rags and Easy and their elite booth, Nick Koloff and Chris Platty. They are bringing you the biggest interviews, breakdowns, and laughs. The Woodward Heavyweights, man. But most importantly, thank you guys for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports network. We appreciate you.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, it's a trade deadline coming up, and you might have to, divorce some players on the Tigers. If you're dealing with that, if you're dealing with child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham, they will have your back. They got 10+ years of experience and 24/7 availability. So scan the QR code on the screen right above my head or call 248-971-0476. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. Let's go. KDK Law, they got your back.
Don't let her do it.
Don't let her do it. KDK, they got your back. Woodward Sports got your back. Hey, KG, you want to wake him up real quick?
Wake up out of your sleep.
Hey.
What up?
Let's go. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this entire Woo Crew thing. Shout out to Flannel Sam, who will be on Big D Energy. And we got the rest of the Woo Crew in the building, but I need you guys to go ahead and just satisfy that like button real quick. Just smash it. Treat it right. Treat it nice.
Be good
you
to
guys
her.
already know what it is.
Spank it if you want.
Ooh.
Hey.
Spank it. We got FAB over here.
We going crazy on a Monday. Everybody in the chat right now, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't just do it for us, but do it for you too.
Oh, baby, this
because we care about you.
Hit that like button. It really turns me on.
You always do gotta have a deep voice on the R&B song.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Broder. That was a good touch.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Gotta get Luther Vandross.
Hey, you know what,
with
man? I'm telling you, as we get closer to the Lion season, we're going to have to really do something with this, man. When I was in D.C.,
Let out the roar.
and we're going to have to play some of these videos one day, JB.
What's up?
When I was in D.C. working with Tom Jones Morning Show, I was working with comedian Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown, legendary OG comedians, and we used to do songs for like the Washington, at the time, Redskins, now the whatever they're called. It was fun, and it got everybody hype in the city, man. They had fun with it. Sometimes they were like, yo, let's go serious and let's do these bars where we're going hard for the Washington Redskins, and other times they were having fun with it. And I remember they let me get on one song. We had a bet. I was a studio engineer and their producer. I was like, look, Lions are playing y'all. If we beat you guys, which we were terrible, but if we beat y'all got to let me get on the next song. Obviously, we won, and we're going to have to play
Let's
that song.
go. Hey.
But the
Lions won the game.
We're going to have to recreate this because there's too much talent in here.
It's way too much. We got especially with the barking over there, back-to-back barking champs.
We should make diss tracks against our opponents every single week.
That's what they used to do. And then they used to recap the games as well.
That's it.
Can we get Chef Geach to have a little featuring on one of the weeks?
Oh,
Woo Crew featuring Geach.
I hit up a couple people to feature. I want features like every week.
I want Amari Hall. He roll beats.
Shout out to Kid J.
I see you.
Kid J as well.
And I want some of your beats too.
Let's rock, man.
Let's go. Let's rock. Let's rock. All right, I asked you guys a question. I got a phenomenal answer from Big Show Picks, and I want to hear you guys too. I said, what does buying mean to you? If the this Tigers team, I say buying or selling, what does buying at the deadline mean? Big Show Pick says, what buying means to me is the ability to lose in a trade if it's for the player or players we need on the MLB roster today.
Like that.
Well said. Well thought out. What about you guys? And I'm asking you guys, you don't have to be buy. People feel free to share your opinion. I just want to know, what does a buy mean to you guys? Because it was flying all over Twitter. All right, Tigers are competing. It's time to buy.
I really believe that based on the way this team has done things, maybe there's some type of a value player that they think they can take a flyer on that will help to stabilize things. We see them being able to win right now with the bats they have on this squad right now. My question a couple weeks ago was, what happens if they add just a couple bats? And obviously, we all know they need like 5. But just to stabilize and kind of take what they're doing right now to the next level, maybe really, really competing for a wild card spot, are there a couple kind of budget bats out there that you could bring in to help this young kind of inconsistent lineup?
Good point, fellas.
I think that it's because it's so hard. Like, bro, I will admit, Broder makes it so tough with his questions to be full in on buy, because there is no full in on buy, because we don't want to get rid of our future in the minor leagues. Like, our prospects are so valued to this organization, but if in a way where we could flip this roster around and kind of just move some pieces off the roster, move some in, like trading Gio, bringing in maybe someone to replace him, just making it a little bit different, where maybe you trade a bullpen arm for a bat and you sacrifice a little bit of a loss in the bullpen for a bat. Just something that kind of injects a little bit more life into this lineup, and leads to hopefully some more offensive pressure that you create on a game-to-game basis without sacrificing too much by losing too many prospects or too many bullpen arms.
Well thought out.
Yeah, if they were to buy, to me, it has to be a player or players. I think it'll be one singular player. Somebody that can help this team right now, but somebody that'll also contribute to winning a couple years from now. Because even if you do sell and you want to wait on the young guys, that's fine. But when they get up here, you do need to have some kind of insulated foundation already set for when they come up. That way you can account for their struggles and things of that nature. When I was watching the Blue Jays series this weekend, all I kept thinking was, what if they had Vlad Guerrero in this lineup, man? We kept seeing the long balls that Vlad Guerrero was hitting, and it's just like, damn, if the Tigers had a guy like that, just one guy like that in their lineup, this offense, they may even be in the wild card race, like maybe leading the wild card race. So I just really want a player like that, somebody that can come in, that can instantly make an impact, but somebody that also has team control, or a contract that'll keep them there, for when the young guys arrive.
Yeah, for all that Vlad Guerrero, the missiles he was launching all weekend, his very last hit was like a slider down and in that he somehow like sliced for a double down the right field line. The dude is,
if they had a hitter like
absolute
that,
dream to go after him.
Man,
it probably won't be today, but we probably have to talk about some scenario where we go and try to get Vladdy.
Yeah.
Like, is that possible? Is that possible? Could we possibly get Vlad Guerrero?
I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays are saying they won't trade him, which I do think is all smoke, because he not only DH'd, he played a little bit of first this weekend, and he played third. Sounds like an audition to me.
Right.
It sounds like an audition. Hopefully that's some trade talk we can talk about a little bit later, but I don't know. I kind of agree with all you guys as well, too. Like, you want to trade for your future, but you don't want to get rid of the valuable players that you have right now. I know it's going to be a hard decision to make, which honestly, it sucks. All trades, giving away your favorite, your favorable hometown guys that you love to see every single week, it does. It sucks. But to get better, you are going to have to get rid of some players. And I think that's the line that you're going to have to cross. Who are you willing to get rid of and know and tell the city that this is going to be a heartbreak for a minute? But let me tell you right now, the future will be brighter.
Yeah. You guys all
preaching.
I'm glad you guys answered because you all had a little bit different answers. All some really good points. There's some devil's advocate to be played in some of it, but those are very well thought out answers. Hoof-Hearted says in the chat, the Tigers need to be opportunists, take advantage of teams paying a premium to try and win now, or buy players from teams that are selling low. Dakota Mullet, what it means to what buy means to me, go after pitchers with bad contracts, overpay for just above average pitchers, something our pitching coach can quickly shape up. Well thought out. And go after a big bat like Guerrero again.
Yeah,
home run.
Last Chad's loving Vlad.
Man.
Good. Please continue. I will never stop you from loving that man. But with Shaq got hurt this weekend too. He's another one of my young loves. Kiazi, a chance on young bats, low risk, high reward type situation. The way you still prepare for the future. Awesome. So fantastic responses. Now,
what?
Holy!
What?
It's a fake fire. We're not going. I hope you guys can't hear this.
Yeah.
Let's try to talk through this.
Me and Kool-Aid's for the
Actually, chat.
I seen them both look at each other.
Was out, bro.
I seen them both look at each other, and it was like, oh, time to go.
Black folks don't play that shit. When alarms go off, we out. We out.
Wait, talk to me about this.
I didn't do it. I just didn't do it.
Wait, tell me. Give me the history. Give me the history behind this.
Give you the history. Give us the history, he said.
I seen the way y'all were eyeing each other, and I'm just like, nope, it's time to go.
That was a short alarm, though. It's done, right?
Yeah, it's done, I believe. Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Oh, there they go. They heard it. Fire!
Oh, man.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, where is Justin?
Right.
He said,
Justin in the bathroom.
He did this?
He probably did do it.
Man.
He probably lighting up a little joint in the fire alarm, little wake and bake.
All right, we caught you, Justin.
Caught
you.
Justin pulled the alarm.
You can take the man out the festival, but you can't take the festival out the
Well,
man.
freaking said, Mr. Aid. Well said.
Man.
Oh, snap.
So, what I love most about most of your answers and the answers in the chat, there was a little bit of also planning for the future, like buying, but it's not going to be an all-in scenario.
Right.
And I would say it can't be all-in. Like they don't have the roster in the minor leagues to go all in right now. Like to truly buy. If you're, to me, when you say buy at a deadline, and a deadline where you have a lot of one-year contracts, you're still a couple years away, it means you're going for it this year. Maybe not you're going all in trying to chase a World Series, but you're pushing for the playoffs and expecting to play in the playoffs. And to do that, you obviously you need Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
You probably want Jack Flaherty on that too, but really you got to get rid of him. Reese Olson's injured, so now you have hypothetically you move on from Flaherty. You have Tarek Skubal in, Kyder Montero, Casey. We now need pitching.
Yeah.
To really go on a run, you need bullpen. You need to add to the bullpen, not subtract from the bullpen.
So that was a good suggestion. Who suggested that earlier in the chat?
I think there was someone in the chat. I think Justin also brought up too. And I actually do think going after bullpen players is a good way to both buy and like not go all in buy, but not just sell. You might be able to move. Well, let me first start out. If you're going for it, you want bats like Mark Canha and Gio Urshela to help the young guys. But those are your most tradable assets too. You're not going to get a haul back from them. You're probably not going to get a haul back from Flaherty either. But it doesn't make sense to keep them, not do anything with them, not really go all in, not really have a shot at the There are so many nuances. So if you really want to transform this roster this year or go get major league bats, major league pitchers, shoot a major league bullpen player, we're talking about moving on from our prospects. If you're not getting them for Urshela, Canha, Flaherty. Flaherty's the one you might be able to get a major league ready bat that's in AAA or that's a bat like an Andy Pajes on the Dodgers. Maybe someone like that, but I still it's a stretch. You're looking at prospects. So to really buy, we're talking about having to dangle Jace Young. We're talking about having to dangle. We wouldn't dangle Max Clark, but maybe it's a McGonigle. Ty Madden, I'm not too worried about losing, but his name would be in there. Kyder Montero.
All of that sounds bad.
Yeah. Everyone we like in our system is what the other teams will want. The Dylan Dinglers of the world. Teams that want to build so here's where now the buy situation. Let's just wrap this conversation up. To buy, you got to sacrifice your future, which is how this team is building.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many holes, like going half-ass at it, like just semi-buying really won't make enough of a difference, in my opinion. Like, you got to find some way to keep rolling with the players you have now. Like, they're not going to play 750 baseball for the rest of the season, but if they could keep up some of this hitting, and you never know what could happen. We got a lot of AL Central games coming up. Who knows? But I have a hard time not just believing that Scott Harris will do it, but agreeing with sacrificing the future to go all in or to go for a playoff berth this year. You know, especially if you don't have a rotation in the playoffs that includes Skubal, Flaherty, and Olsen. Like, that's the key to go for the push, is get into the playoffs because you have those three pitchers. But you might not have Olsen. You probably shouldn't have Flaherty. If you keep Flaherty, you want Olsen. So Olsen getting hurt throws a wrinkle in a lot of this.
Absolutely.
Like, having that third starter that you can count on, that's a huge part of, like, really believing in, okay, this year, if we can sneak in, we can do something. The chances of that happen go down a lot now that Reese Olsen's injured. So
already depending on pitching wise on things working out, like even Kenta Maeda being a success in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So it's like it's already thin. Somebody like that going down. I know earlier when you talked about it, I could just hear the pain in KG's voice.
No, it's just I do feel it just depends on what assets that you offer up, because I do look at a lot of these guys in our system and they're not Scott Harris guys. And I know I keep iterating that, but that's huge, man. I don't think a lot of these Al Avila guys are people that Scott Harris views as, you know, real difference makers once they get to the MLB level. So, yeah, it would suck to lose a Jace Young, but, I mean, if it'll go get you a Vlad Guerrero or contribute to that, then I would be on board, absolutely, man. A Ty Madden, to me, you don't want to lose him, but he would be expendable to go get a piece of that nature. Like I said, it's probably not multiple players, but if you go target one singular piece that can help you right now but still be on the team when the young guys come up, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about Vlad Guerrero, because that is a player that I wouldn't mind. I would be okay with sending Jace Young.
Yeah.
It would have to be as part of a package, though. Like, they're going to want, they probably would have, Reese Olsen would have been a good part of it. Olsen and Jace Young, plus another for Vlad, maybe. Maybe Kaiser Montero, like.
Yeah. And whatever holes they do create from trading, you know, some of our players, they can make up by spending some money. And I know that's been a big topic, but if they spend a little bit of money, this is possible. This is very possible to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Dakota Mullet. The thing is, Broder, Scott Harris isn't known to do what we need done right now. He's a process kind of guy, and I don't think it's needed at this point in time. I think you're spot on with that. Like, everything Scott Harris has done throughout his career and so far with the Tigers doesn't point to going in and trading prospects for major league bats. But like KG said, the AAA guys, some of the AA guys, they are past regime guys. So they are up for trade. How good are, I mean, other than the Jace Youngs, like how valued are they around the league? That's to be determined.
And in a sport like baseball, where the analytics, the metrics, and the style of manager matters, especially how it meshes with the players, then that's why I completely understand. If it's not a Scott Harris guy, if it's not a guy that's going to mesh with the style, kind of the money ball, the small ball of Scott Harris and AJ Hinch, how much does it really matter? Even if we like that prospect or believe that they have the potential, if they don't fit the system, then how much does it matter?
Yeah.
You might as well be able to leverage a player that you don't believe is your guy to be able to make sure you can bring in the ones that you know are your guys, because your job is on the line.
Yeah.
Your reputation is on the line and connected to this. We see it's with the Pistons right now. Arn Tellem and his family, some of the most respected agents out there in the history of the game. But because of this blip, going back to when SVG was bought in, because of this blip of kind of middling basketball to terrible basketball, all of a sudden people are starting to talk about, like, is Arn Tellem really the basketball mind that we thought? Now all of a sudden, you know, see him bringing in a Trajan Langdon, bringing in more of what we believe to be his guys, and hope that there's something better along the line. But you got to make those types of changes. I'm hoping that as it relates to Scott Harris and AJ Hinch, that they start to do that. Flip this thing over so that KG can finally say, you know what, these are Scott Harris guys.
Yeah. QT, they are done rebuilding. Now they need to add the pieces to make us contenders. See, QT, I got to push back. I disagree.
Right.
I think they're way closer to the beginning of the rebuild Then the end of it. To me, their timeline for really going for it is when Max Clark and Kevin McGonigal, that era of Scott Harris draft picks and roster construction is ready to compete. I'm not saying they have to be, in the majors for 2 years for Scott Harris to be ready. I'm just saying when they're ready to be a part of the big league team, then you should go start building around them. That's what I think their plan is. The problem with the right now, there was a trade a few weeks ago the Royals made. This will be our last point, then we'll move on. Royals traded with the Nationals for relief pitcher Hunter Harvey, who's under control through 2025. So another year. It cost the Royals their number 2 prospect, Caden Wallace, third baseman Caden Wallace, and a draft pick. Wallace is now the Nationals' 6th prospect in AA. So we're talking about a number 2 prospect. That would be the Jackson Jobe, Jace Young for a reliever.
Yeah.
For 1 year of a reliever.
It's crazy.
I'm not, even Jace Young, I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
That's a buy now and a little bit for the future. I'm not ready to do that. I don't want to give up our number 2 prospect for a reliever.
Yeah.
Let's get those in a trade for someone else.
Man, that's thorough.
That's it.
It shows a lot. And just really quickly,
I'll be quick.
How serious of a threat do you believe the Tigers are in this wild card race? Because that's what ultimately matters. All this noise about bye and all this noise that we hear about the Tigers and even the excitement is because not just because they're winning, but because of what we think it means for their season outlook as well.
Yeah, they're not out of it. I just think the hill they're going to have to climb
the hole is too deep.
It's deep. 6 games doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It is, especially consider 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in front of you.
They're giving themselves no margin for mistake.
Yeah, the benefit, they do have a bunch of AL Central teams coming up on their schedule, but still, they're not going for the AL Central first place. They need those teams to fall behind them record-wise.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. So that'll do it. We're obviously going to be talking more Tigers throughout the week leading up to the deadline. Tarek Skubal's on the mound tonight against the Guardians. Big lefty, Cy Young favorite.
Yeah.
He's on the mound, so
yes, sir.
Probably their most important series this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Turn them into Scooby snacks. Scooble, let's go.
I'm hoping at the end of this series that they're 500. Let's go.
Let's hope.
Let's
Over
go.
500.
Yeah, it's just split 2-2. I would love a 3-1, but hey, if they're 500 at the end of this series, Kool-Aid, I like that.
Let's go.
I like that. Tell them about a little insurance they need to buy before we come back. Talk Lions training camp and Frank Ragnow.
Let's do it.
Love that
about
man.
Something a little awesome first.
Love him.
And awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do is stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. I know you guys see it sometimes when we got the camera on Justin. You guys can already see the experience. You guys deserve that experience as well. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, word to FAB. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night. And know that the Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it's technology that is backed by people, your safety and security. It deserves technology. It's been proven to work.
Stop it over.
And people who've been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here.
Broder.
1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
First day back, man. We had a conditioning test. Rookies had to report early. Vets got to come later, man. You know, I'll be there next year. But that conditioning test was no joke. Boy really trying to win a Super Bowl this year, I tell y'all that. And I'm in shape.
I love this man.
Somebody else opinion.
No homo.
Y'all boys know this shit, man. I
must have been thinking about my rookie year.
How that conditioning test had you feeling, man.
Kirby with the braids.
Can't forget my op, man. This boy used to be my op, man, back in them college days, man. But you know, now we team. How that conditioning test had you feeling, boy?
Cake, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then.
Florida.
Boy, say even down there in Florida with them, boy.
He's like a wholesome CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, he is.
Like, for real.
I love him. I might have to get a Terry Arnold jersey.
How that conditioning test had you feeling, boy?
That CJ's old shit.
Boy. How you feel, boy? He over here always smiling.
Him or Gibbs? That's who I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
On the black. No, it's gotta be Terry Arnold on the black.
Sub-Zero out.
Sub-Zero.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Man, that's big bat. That's big bat energy, man. You talk about the Detroit Lions. The rookies have reported training camp. The season is right around the corner. Look, man, my birthday is August 7th. The Detroit Lions play August 8th. I know it's just preseason, but we get Hendon Hooker hype. I can't wait.
This is the hooker you've been waiting for your birthday.
What'd you say?
This is the hooker you've been waiting for your birthday. For years.
You know what? It's the only one my wife will let me pay to see.
Yeah, I wonder what that conversation is. They even got a night with the hooker tonight.
Yeah, damn right.
He's right under center, calling out the plays.
You're right.
How much will it cost to get in, though? That's the question. Terry on, by the way. I love that man.
Yes.
Like, man, is it wrong to say he's like a wholesome CJ Gardner-Johnson?
I think you were spot on with that.
Just the most positive, just good energy, but a lot of it.
Yep. And he just has that four-letter word, man. Or when you talk about guys like Max Clark, we have some of these young guys here, man, that I am ecstatic about.
Yeah.
I really am. And with Terry and Arnold, Enos Rakestraw, like, I don't want to forget about him either. I can't wait, man. Like, these guys are not here to just kind of learn. They're here to be like, yo, I really want to get on the field and play. I think I deserve to start as well. And for the first time, they're working out. They're working out, knowing that Super Bowl is the expectation. Everything that they do from this point forward, it's about what goes on to help the team win a Super Bowl. Even your young guys, your rookies, that's the environment that they're stepping into right now. Think about what this team was just 5 years ago. Just 5 years ago, the environment that young players were stepping into. The fact that free agents were like, you know what, I'll probably pass on the Detroit Lions unless I'm at the end of my career and I just need that bag. Think about the fact that we were just giving away players that they just didn't like. Hey, Diggs, hey, out of here. Slay, out of here. Now you got people who are clamoring to be a part of this organization. This is how our season is starting. And you can tell that all those guys, man, they know what's at stake. They know what they have to do, man. And that's what's making me ecstatic about this Detroit Lions season. Dan Campbell ain't gonna let them slip, bro.
No.
Not at all.
And that this coaching staff forced them to come to camp in shape and put them through the ringer. Like, we know they'll ease up. They'll have tough days. They'll have easy days. But for the rookies who showed up on Saturday, who were there this weekend, like, you need a little shock to the system. Like, it's not as fun as mini camp. It's not as fun as these little, exercises they do in June
Time
and in
to get
May.
serious.
It's time. Like this is go time for the season. Awesome seeing those guys. Any other comments on Terrion before we kind of review? There's some transactions. There's some roster moves.
Yeah.
I I have a caption I'm trying. Oh yeah, here. Steve DeYoung. If Hooker has a great quality preseason, does he get upgraded to escort?
That's a great comment. Fantastic. Good find.
Good.
Good find. But we learned it was yesterday or Saturday. Lions made some roster updates. Put on the active, physically unable to perform the PUP list. DB Brian Branch, outside linebacker, edge rusher Marcus Davenport, and defensive lineman DJ Reader. And on the active non-football injury, the NFI list, Gio Manu. Gio Manu. Do any of those surprise you? A. B. How good was it to see Kirby not on this list and in that video? Like, that just hit me as I saw that. I was like, wait, Kirby wasn't on that list.
He wasn't.
I like the sound of that. Dealing with hip problems, a little hip surgery. He seems to be okay.
Yeah. Nah, definitely good to see. And I think with Brian Branch, I know that kind of caused a little bit of stir amongst people on Twitter and Reddit and things of that nature. I think Brian Branch should be fine. I think he'll be ready to go week 1, hopefully. Dan Campbell, I think he alluded to that as well. So not really worried about Brian Branch. Everything here, I mean, it's pretty I don't want to say predictable, but pretty status quo, I would say.
What about Gio Manu? Like, this is the one that surprised me. I didn't know he was injured prior, like had any lingering injury. So if he's on the NFI list, it means the non-football injury list. He either he's got a lingering injury from college, like J-Mo and his torn ACL, or he's dealing with some injury that happened outside of the team facility.
Right.
That's not necessarily a good thing. I don't know how serious it is or anything, but like, I don't know. That is worrisome.
Yeah.
Not that they needed him to contribute immediately, but this is a good starting spot, especially for an offensive lineman to be a part of training camp from the beginning.
I just feel like if it was more serious, we would have known about it. Absolutely would have known about it. And this is also a guy that we don't expect to see a lot this year. If he does, maybe towards the end of the year. But he's not somebody that's going to be like asked to contribute right away. So I don't think it's the biggest deal.
Man. But you want as much good mojo around the team. But I also expect it's football. Around this time of year, these are the types of announcements you have. I know that there's a lot of hype and hope for him. So hopefully, like KG saying, that it's nothing serious, and they're just giving the guys they believe need a little bit of extra rest before, because you think about it, when you're playing on that line, how much more strenuous does your summer and your off season and your camp get? Because you're battling with some of the most fearsome guys across your the defensive line and the offensive line for the Detroit Lions have both been improved and are both. We obviously know what the strength of this team is, but I believe the defensive line is going to show some things as well. So it's like, you know what? If you need a little bit of extra rest, if you got to be able to kind of let some things heal up, especially before the full training camp starts, then I get that strategy too.
Yeah, and even aside from like the physical aspect of it, to double down, it's a young offensive lineman like Manu, who's like, if there's any attribute that he's raw.
Yeah.
Like he needs work.
Pause.
Just being out there. Yes. Just being out there and learning, getting the mental side right.
Yeah.
Like it's going to take time physically, but getting the mental side right. We want him to get as many reps as possible. So
he's this season's Broderick Martin, essentially.
Yes. It's perfect. Yeah. By next year, I want a beast, a lean, mean fighting.
Yes,
he's
sir.
pretty lean.
6'8", coming off that, man, stop it.
Hearing Lomas talk about him at guard at the Calvin Johnson Celebrity Golf Tournament.
Yep.
That big dude at guard.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a beast. But when we come back, let's talk about Frank Ragnow, because this line is the identity of the team. Frank Ragnow is the identity of the line.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow has been here through the good times and the bad. He's on a couple lists. He was on the Green Light Pod with Chris Long. Let's give him some love.
I was gonna say, does he get enough love?
He doesn't. He doesn't.
These guys deserve love too. Crispy, man. Look at those rookies. I can't wait. Dogs.
Enos Rakeshaw was sitting in C.J. Gardner-Johnson's former locker. I dig that.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow. Dog. We're going to talk about him. I'm glad you put that on the show sheet. But first, let me tell you guys about Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees.
Bad boy.
Or raising the deductibles. Man, all you got to do is call Mark at Swiss Insurance. Today, that number is 313-530-1698. Again, word to my brother Flannel, that number is 313-530-1698. Or visit them online, SwissINS.com, and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar? How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
Did somebody say merch? Head over to WoodwardSports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. You know we got some on the back burner right now, inching closer and closer to the season for these Detroit Lions. But let me tell you about the hashtag Boo Them Kids we got up right now that you need to get. Exactly. You need to be booing them kids even at training camp when it starts. You got the Stoke Not Scared, and you can't forget about the Tigers as well too. They have awoken.
And that Detroit sign shirt.
No, not the Detroit sign shirt. Not the Detroit sign shirt. But the Woodward Tigers, they have awoken, so you need to go and get decked out with some Woodward Tigers gear as well too. WoodwardShops.com. Click on that shop tab. Get swagged out.
Get swagged out.
Swag, sir.
Hey, like Terry Arnold and English Frank Strong. Shout out to the Rooks, man.
Oh, I know those are practice uniforms, but how good?
Those are crispy, man.
They look in their photo day, their real uniforms.
Sub-Zero.
I love those jerseys more and more every single time I see
Icy.
it. Every single time.
Detroit Lions, man. Right on the corner.
I even like when DJ Reader's in them. You know he can't move, but like he's in street shoes. But like, all right, DJ Reader, he looks nice and big.
Yeah.
Nice and beefy.
The black jerseys are my favorite jerseys, but I gotta give some love to the white. Like the icy white, oh my goodness. They look so clean. Like the black, they look hard. Yeah. They look absolutely nails. But the white, they look so clean. Yeah. They look like they're just ready to just be on business.
One year they gotta do that, man. Just absolutely clean white. Like an absolute whiteout. I think that would be
It'd be dope.
Imagine whiteout in the stadium too. Like they white out and black out the stadium when they wear the jerseys. Like
stop it.
Forget the ski mask.
Stop it.
You know,
turn it into a college football atmosphere. Whiteouts, blackouts.
Isn't this the town that you could do this in? Though?
Yes.
This is exactly that town.
I feel it
you
coming.
can make something like that happen. I would love it.
See,
I would love it. I'm just saying, look,
when
that's what we
Kool-Aid
do.
gets into, like he doesn't even know it when he gets into his heart. It's almost prayer mode. It's something is coming out. There's a beam coming out from inside of him.
I love Detroit, man. I love Detroit sports. I'm fired up. Let's rock, man.
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Let's go.
Did you have something cool, KG?
No, I was just gonna say I know I was critical of the blue jerseys when they first released, man, but they are growing on me, man.
Hey.
Of course, the black jerseys, they the best ones.
Jay Cruiser said that. He said the blueberries are crispy too.
Man, I love the blue jerseys, man. I really do.
Yeah, they're growing. You know who doesn't care about how he looks in his uniform, but is going to play well and will play regardless of injuries, regardless of what he thinks he looks like in them.
Who is that?
That's Mr. Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
Out of Arkansas.
Frank.
7-year vet.
Pig Suey.
He's had some rough years with this Tigers. With this Lions team. I don't know why I had Robert Fick in my mind. I was like, you need Robert Fick, Brandon Inge. You need one player from the shit to get you to the sunlight. Like someone coming out of the dirt and help you build that foundation for the next. And Frank Ragnow's as important as anybody. This offensive line's their identity.
Yep.
He's the leader of the offensive line. Penei Sewell is, we think, the best offensive lineman in the league, but it all runs through Frank Ragnow.
He sets the bar and he sets that standard for what is actually injured. What do you play through? What do you do when you're one of the young guys and you're like, well, I'm injured. And Frank is like, yeah, but my whole foot is bent backwards and I'm playing this week too. What are you going to do? Hey, and that's another thing that I love about Frank. It's not just that he's a vet He's a guy that's still contributing at a high level, and you know that he's going to be an absolute Iron Man for you out there and do a stone face as well. He's just a stone face killer, man. That's Frank Ragnow. You talk about a leader of this offensive line with guys like Penei Sewell and Decker and others. It's just like, let's go. Zeitler, man, they made a great unit even better.
It's true. And JB, I should have wrote in Slack, if you could have the two shot on the videos we're about to play. I really appreciate that. But you're right. Just from a toughness standpoint, being out there fighting through injuries, yes, he's everything you want this team to identify with. But also his talent, like his ability to read defenses, help Jared Goff, help call out linebackers and blitzers and give his take. We're going to see a video in a second, not this first one, but about the mental side of it in this chess game he's learned to play and fall in love with. But he credits so much of his strength, of his development, of how good he's become to Hank Fraley.
You know what's crazy to me, though, with Frank Ragnow?
What?
The Detroit Lions have this concept, right? It's next man up. How the heck is Frank Ragnow his own next man up? He's injured.
For real, man.
We talk about
injury. He should be out, and then he's right back in the lineup.
Every week, like he's not going to play, like nagging something. He's only missed 3 games in the last 2 years,
which is insane.
We feel like he's played 10 out of 30 games. He's there every game.
He's had a career's worth of injuries in one whole season, man. Like, it's crazy, and he's not even 30 years old.
No,
wow. It seems like he's a veteran. With all the injuries he incurs, he's only like 28.
It's wild. He credits Hank Fraley a lot. Was that Braylon's old teammate?
Yeah,
or maybe with Steve Hyden too.
Yeah,
Hank Fraley. How important is Hank Fraley to Ragnow? Here, let Ragnow tell you for himself.
No, he's the man. He's probably been the biggest blessing of my career by far. I've had him my whole career, which most O-line coaches, most O-linemen don't have that luxury, and he's not only an O-lineman that played, but he's a center that played, and it's been so cool for him to be able to it's such a democracy, if you will, like with everything's an open exchange, and we're able to discuss how I see things, how he sees things, what's best fit for the room going forward, and he's just been a blessing, such a huge blessing for me, and I think this whole room, and I think he's a lot of the reason why we've had some success in the past few years.
The faith that he has in the coach, the man leading the best unit in football, like talking about it being a democracy, him being the leader. Hank Fraley runs that room, but he and any of the linemen have open dialogue. What do you see out there? They bounce ideas and strategies off one another, and that's how these linemen are developing and getting. That's why I love the linemen that they drafted.
Yeah,
it's not going to be immediate, but the development under Fraley, like if Frank Ragnow doesn't prove it, I don't know what does.
I like Frank Ragnow, man. There's not a lot that you can. You can say so much about him, but it all boils down to the type of worker he is and the standard that he sets.
Yeah.
Just playing through everything, and in these clips, you see a little bit more of the humility, being able to credit your coaches, even though you're still Frank Ragnow, being able to say, "Hey, look, this is how these guys have helped me." Because again, what does this do for the younger players that are on this squad right now? You're talking about guys that we have high hopes in that we just drafted this year as well. What is it doing? It's setting the standard.
Yeah.
Listen to these guys. If Frank is doing it, you better be doing it if you're one of the young guys. Frank is going to do it out there on the field, and he's crediting all of these other aspects to why his game is where it's at right now.
Yes.
That's what I love more than anything. 'Cause I know he's going to perform, but what this does for the rest of the team and that culture, I love it.
I would hate being a center in the NFL. Yeah. Like I don't think any position I would hate more.
Yeah.
Like you're going up against Vita Vea, Aaron Donalds, just freak shows. Dexter Lawrence, day in and day out. Aleem McNeil, which we'll get to in 1 second. But to play center and to deal with all that, to play injured, like you have to fall in love with other parts of the game. And that's what Frank Ragnow did. He started to learn more the X's and O's, the mental side, the chess game to playing the center position. He talks about falling in love with it, and that's helped him not just continue his career, but take it to another level. JB, can you play that clip?
What you talk about, like the mental aspect of it, kind of the chess game within the game, is something that it's a different part of the game that I've really fallen in love with. It's almost like you feel like you're battling the defensive coordinator sometimes. Like when we're playing like the Vikings and I see Harrison Smith on the line of scrimmage and I guess right, and he's actually the deep safety. Like it's like, let's go, you know?
Yeah.
then meanwhile, I got to block a freak show like you as I'm trying to do that. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on. So it's a fun but very rewarding position.
So it's just a peek behind the corners of like he now is playing a game within the game with the defensive coordinator. You guess right, it pumps him up a little bit more. He's as important to this offense and Ben Johnson's offense as anybody.
Yeah.
As anybody. You know who he gets to go up against every day in practice? And in training camp,
DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil.
He will soon with the DJ Reader. He actually hasn't played DJ Reader yet in his NFL career.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, but he has gone up against Aleem McNeil. And by the way, this is a Green Light podcast with Chris Long. That's not Chris Long. That's his co-host, but all these clips up to this point are from there. He talks about Aleem McNeil and what he's turned into, what he's developed in. And it's just a great signature, a sign of approval from one of the captains of this team on Aleem McNeil. Check this out.
He's really talented, really talented, and just a great, like, since day one, he's been just a humble, like, just a pro, and it's been so cool to see him evolve. Like, last year, he cut a bunch of body fat and really kind of leaned up, and you saw he was very dynamic, and he's just hungrier, and I think he's going to get better and better. He's adding more and more little pass rush moves to his toolbox or whatever, and it's been cool to see. But the guy works, and he can be that 3 technique. He's the pass rush threat, but he can also be that nose who kind of plugs things up at an early down. So he's a very special player.
He moves well for a big boy too on a lot of the stunts and.
Dude, he's a big time baseball player, like a freak.
Oh,
athlete.
really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
You should look up clips. He was really good.
Let's go contract year bump Aleem McNeil and baseball player. Baseball players are tough. They play football.
They are.
Look at
they are. See that athlete?
Yeah.
That's a nose tackle hitting a bomb.
Yeah, looking like Prince Fielder out there. Crazy.
And you should hear the words that he said about Aleem McNeil. I thought he's my assumption was he's going to be a part of this core of the future, and he's next in line who they want to go give an extension to. To me, this kind of solidifies it. Frank talking about, his importance in the locker room, his work. It's everything we think of Penei Sewell, of Hutch, of, Jared Goff's completely different situation. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's special. Let's take a quick break. Just got a few more short clips. Actually, from one of our friends, All 22 NFL Cuts on Twitter and on YouTube channel.
Shout out.
Just got 2. We'll break down a little Frank RAGNOW actual clips, in-game clips, real briefly when we come back. First, I think I got to tell you about Mark White real estate because Frank RAGNOW doesn't let any defensive player gain any type of real estate in the backfield. And if you're dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, they're here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. So call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. They're known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tender sandwiches and New York-style pizza. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They're doubling their number of restaurants this year. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights, so be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to www.sorokis.com. You can also join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. It's the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. It offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All the coaches in the league are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. So register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. They got equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field. Costs just $175 per child. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Let's put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Let's go. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the Woo Crew.
Woo.
And as always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. Go ahead and smash that like button. Let's zoom straight on through this goal, that like goal. We're talking to Detroit Lions, and we're going to continue to ramp up the Detroit Lions conversation on this show as we get closer and closer to the season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To put a bow on this RAGNOW conversation, Scott, we want to show some in-game clips because he does so much out on the field, but I think we need to see some of it to get excited. So this is from our friend, all 22 NFL cuts. So all _22 _NFL _cuts on Twitter. He's also got a YouTube page, all 22 films.
Good man.
He
bro.
breaks down a lot of the Lions and I think teams around the NFL, a lot of their film. And I really love watching these positions that I don't know different schemes, the X's and O's of playing the center position. But he does a great job here. I clipped some of his clips. And first I want to show you this play. Sam Laporta catch in the Bucs game. It's a pass protection, week 6. Frank Ragnow, what you're going to get to see in this is just not only how athletic and how in tune he is with his left guard, Jonah Jackson, in that game, but also his vision. Feel free to run that whenever you want. This goes for like a 15. Could you play the other one first? The other Bucs one?
Oh, yeah.
Against Laporta. This is pass protection. And if you could put me on the screen just for copyright issues, I would appreciate it.
Not a problem.
But we're looking at Frank Ragnow right up the middle. We're going to see him help out Jonah Jackson, help out on the defensive lineman to the left. Then you'll see there's another outside linebacker edge rusher who crosses in front of him. I believe this slows down right here. You see Frank Ragnow going over to help out Jonah, but there's that Bucs player cutting across the entire line in front of his face. Frank Ragnow sees it and is quickly athletic enough to be able to slide over and help him out. That not only gives Jared Goff more time, but he just needed a split second to be able to throw that dot to Sam Laporta. So you'll see our friend, all 22 films, he draws up on the screen, just highlighting this player, cutting right in front of Frank Ragnow's eyes. To me, just like not having played NFL football before, thinking of how fast a game is, like to be able to do that, you're initially going to help block with your left guard with Jonah Jackson, to see a guy on a stunt cut across your face.
Yeah.
That's impressive to me.
That's a sack if he doesn't get there.
Yeah, because that guy's coming in full speed right at Jared Goff. This was week 6. This was pass protection. One last one I wanted to show you was a run play. Not a touchdown, but a 21-yard gain against the Bucs in the playoffs. So this is week 6 all the way to the playoffs. We're going to see Frank Ragnow play whenever you want, JB. Again, helping out Jonah Jackson. I think Colby Sorsdale's in on this play too. We'll see it from this angle, but there's also an end zone angle that's a little easier to watch. We're going to see him not only help out the left guard, just for a brief second, but then he goes and absolutely creates this huge hole by getting his body parallel, cutting off the linebacker or the defensive lineman who's coming and trying to make this play on Jahmyr Gibbs. He's here. He's noticing how many safeties there are. He's making his reads right now. But you see him nudge over, helping out Jonah Jackson, and then quickly turning his shoulders, getting completely horizontal with where he was before to seal off this player. It allows Jahmyr Gibbs to break it free for a 21-yard gain. So I think this highlights not only Frank Ragnow, his own skill, athleticism, vision, IQ, his ability to communicate with his teammates, whether it's Jonah Jackson. There are several other plays with Colby Sorsdale, Penei Sewell, Graham Glasgow. But I also want to throw a little bit of this in because Jahmyr Gibbs, you need Gibbs as a rookie in the playoffs to have that kind of patience, have that kind of vision, to be able to make an explosive cut like that, to get through that hole. It makes all the work that RAGNOW and this offensive line doing worth it. Like, this is what allows Ben Johnson to really get in his bag and create some fun stuff. Because he knows that offensive line is going to be where they need to be. And then you got an elite weapon and one of the best up-and-coming weapons in the league in Jahmyr Gibbs. So there was my little film rant, Frank RAGNOW, for you.
Best center in the
film
league.
session, Broder.
I'm
Best center in the
as
league.
I was preparing for this, I was like, man, I'm getting excited about watching offensive line play. I'm getting excited about watching centers. I'm getting excited about what's trending with JB Smoove.
Hey,
like, you know what I'm
back
saying?
to being able to talk about what's going on the field rather than all of the speculation, kind of all of the hypotheticals. Right around the corner, man.
Yes.
It was epic. What up, though, JB?
I just want to know how come my lineman can't block like this on College Football 25. Because
swear,
I'm getting
bro.
sacked every single
bro.
time. Like, I even drop back for like more than 2 seconds. Like, come on, I need a Frank RAGNOW in the
And I
game.
ain't telling you how to get better at it because I'm beating your asses on Wednesday.
Okay, we gonna see.
All right.
We gonna see. It only took a weekend. That's all I
Justin.
needed.
Oh, man.
And I'm learning the adjustments, so you better watch out.
Okay, you better get right, man. You better get right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we might need to do a read, but I think we should get into what's trending with JB Smoove.
You want to do Dr. Pierce?
Yeah,
real
how about
quick
you
in
read
here?
Dr. Pierce, Mr. Aid?
That's right.
Yeah.
Attention, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that 4-time Stanley Cup champion winner Darren McCarty trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Let's go, JB. I'm so ready for this.
Cook up!
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, JB Smooth.
Let's rock.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What up, though?
What's going on?
What up, though?
I have to show you guys the most amazing piece of art that you will ever see in the great state of Michigan.
Oh, okay. It's a big claim.
What's he doing?
It's a bold claim.
Oh!
Hey!
This is
Let's
a
go.
corn maze, everybody.
That's dope. That is fire.
That is so cool.
Damn corn maze.
I always wonder how people that do corn mazes, like, how do you, like, get the precision and just, how do you do that?
I
man?
have
Like,
no idea.
That is an amazing
That's
corn maze.
wild.
See what you did there? Dad joke.
I need a
yeah,
shirt
that's-
like that. Can we make a shirt like that?
Ooh.
Dan Campbell
You know
with
what?
the little lion mane?
I like it. The little grit hat on. I like
Just
it,
make
man.
that the Lions' new logo. Fuck it. Why not, man?
Just look at this thing. This is a top
That's-
aerial
Hey,
view
you know
of this
what?
corn
So-
maze.
So, JB, are you taking this Detroit Lions logo over the Mel Norris lion?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
man.
Let's go.
It's a great logo, man.
I'm telling you right now, brother, that's an amazing logo. Like, I don't even know who did that, but that is an amazing corn maze
That's awesome.
that I want
Shout
to
out,
visit.
man.
I
Guaranteed.
want that kind of time.
Next
Right.
up, let me show you guys
I wanna buy
this.
corn from that
Whenever what?
I want to buy corn from that field.
Only that
Oh my
field.
god.
I love corn.
Corn. Just remember, you guys, whenever you're racing, don't always stare at the camera. It'll just end up bad.
Don't do it.
Ready, set, go.
What? Bro, he is getting suspended for sure.
Oh!
How did he even do that?
Set.
He was like, he was taunting him.
Dude!
Okay, so he faster than him. That's good. But
Oh!
damn!
Full
Oh
speed.
my God!
Smack that mother.
Dog!
Shit! How do you even do that?
How do you?
What?
I get you weren't looking at him right there at the end, but how do you not know that's like?
He went full fledged, bro.
I don't understand.
If this
Because he
kid
was taunting him.
If this kid went to try out to play outfield on the baseball team,
Did he like
cut
fall
immediately.
over though?
Warning track.
No,
There's
he
even
didn't.
a
He went
warning track.
straight into it. He went straight into it, full force, face into the glass, breaking it. That's what happens when you look back at your friend when you pass him. You got to be looking forward.
Goodness.
There's even a warning track.
How is this possible?
The window isn't like sticking out, so I'm not sure how he hit it. Like,
it's crazy how like the last view of him you can see before he hits, he's literally just looking like to the right. Like, bro, get your head around forward.
Yeah.
And you know what? Shame on the friend, dog. He ain't even gonna check on him. He just made sure to capture his own reaction.
Yeah.
That's crazy. One more time, baby. He just took the thought like, yo, your man just face planted glass, bro. He just ate glass. Go at least be like, yo, are you okay? If he says yeah, then take the time to laugh at him.
No, I'm just capturing the whole thing.
I still don't
That's
understand
messed
how
up,
this
dog.
happened.
Get better friends, bro.
He was nowhere.
And no warning, too.
Look at a friend.
No warning.
He had to like slip or something. No way.
Did the friend veer to the left?
Yeah.
Like he's watching the friend and the friend turns left. What do you?
I don't.
You think there's no center field fence?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
What I'm
dog.
thinking is happening is like he looks forward and sees the glass and tries to brace himself to stop, and
At
then
the
just kind of
last
just
second.
smashes into it last second. But that's my
Not
thought
an
about
athlete.
it. But yeah, definitely not an athlete.
Nah. He won the race though.
Yeah, are you saying you beat that dude in a race?
But
I don't care.
He looked like he was
not an
booking.
athlete. I don't care if you're fat. Like we need to have that what makes a good athlete conversation because there have been some interesting remarks. Not to call out Spenny, but he did make a comment like Bronny James is more athletic than the most athletic Major League Baseball player. I just don't know where in the world that could come from.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It's been a very interesting weekend, especially with college football. So Justin, I gotta know, you're in dynasty mode. Would you recruit this player?
Oh, I can't read it.
Oh my
I
god.
can't see it. Yeah. Oh wait.
Is that Noah?
Yes.
That's Noah?
N-word?
Oh my god.
Hey, if he can play, he's got a spot on my team.
Bro, they found a way to get
name is
Mr. Noah K
N-word.
in the game, huh?
No way his name is N-word. That's
Oh my
crazy.
god.
One of these players that are in dynasty mode, but I gotta ask you as well,
Oh my god.
Justin, have you rage quit like
They're not
this?
slick, bro.
Get his ass whooped. Get his ass whooped.
Yeah, I can cut in 5 minutes. No, I couldn't. Be quiet. I'm done talking to you. Be quiet. Part of the game is
Thankfully, no. You can cut the tape on me getting whooped by Joel. So
Right.
that's
50
pretty
to
brutal.
24.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna throw the controller and break the window of the truck
Yeah,
or
I'm about to say,
something.
more glass breaking?
Be quiet. I'm done talking to you. Be
I mean,
quiet.
whatever emotional
You can't
glass
even
box
hear
he
him.
was in is broke.
This kid gonna have anger issues growing up.
Yeah, buddy's just yapping.
Yeah, like this is crazy.
Yap, 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 yap. I'm mad. Blah, 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 blah. That's what this kid's doing. Give me 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
See, he was trying to get back in the game. It just probably took him a little bit longer than expected.
He ain't get back in that game. I
Oh,
promise you, man.
He's not getting back that into the game. But let me tell you someone else who is, because shout out to our fearless president. And you know how I know he taps into the Woo crew? Because he's on a trip right now.
Man.
And for some reason, he just showed up at a spot that we featured probably about a week ago.
Huh.
What's up, everybody? Pop Stroke, Delray Beach, Florida. Tiger
Bro,
Woods
we
putt
gotta
putt.
go.
Number 8, a par 2. Aggressive. You want to score on this hole.
Man, he about to sink
Yeah,
this
he
shit.
about to sink this
Still,
shit.
it's
He's
so
gonna do.
Look at this. Look at this man.
He about to sink this.
You think he's sharing this
I'll
if
bet
he
you.
misses?
I'll bet you $100 he does the point too.
His short game crazy. He gonna pose before it's even in the hole. His short game crazy,
Oh.
bro. Pause. Short game. Neil.
Everybody, Pop Stroke.
Neil.
You let me down, Neil.
You gotta talk to him about that, man.
He was close.
Aggressive. You want to score on
He still give you the what's up, everyone.
It's okay. He was looking out for our egos and our confidence. He wanted to show a little bit of his vulnerability.
Right. What a guy.
Even though I would be so far away from that. I wouldn't even be that close, bro. We gotta visit this,
That
man.
boy was supposed
This
to
is
drop,
crazy.
though.
Nah,
That was supposed to drop.
that was supposed to go in there, but man,
He
shout out
actually
to
went
Neil
there,
for that
huh?
one.
So while Tiger Woods was here, Neil was down there.
Neil was down there.
Okay.
Huh.
Man,
interesting.
we gotta do that.
That's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's cook up some mailbag.
Let's do it.
Hey, that was a good one.
Get your questions in. We're going to take a quick break. Got to pay some bills. Come back. Get your mailbag questions in. Already several good ones. Kool-Aid, can you tell the people about the Randy White Celebrity Golf
I
Tour?
can. How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? Go Blue. It's the Randy White Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you could round off our foursome at woodwardsports.com. We're scanning the code on the screen.
That's a wild shit.
Right here.
You want to do what with me?
When it comes to your next contract, make the wise decision. Randy Wise.
How many dudes?
Automotive. Get some mailbag questions in.
4 of them?
Just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new card crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there has to be a dealership in your backyard. So visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also catch us there once a month, probably Wednesday here in August, out of Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. They're awesome. Part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Let's go. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show, and we appreciate you all for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button. Shout out to our brother as well, Sam, who will be on Flannel Sam, who will be on Big D Energy today. But we got to get into mailbag.
Yes.
It is our Feldman Automotive mailbag segment.
Yes. I just copied Rando Small, so if you guys can follow any after that, I got a bunch of other ones. So let's start. Alan W. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Mailbag. Is a play-in spot for the Pistons really that unrealistic? He says, I think we'll be better than the Bulls, Nets, Hornets, Raptors, and Wizards, making us the 10th seed at least.
That's the thing. You could see the possibilities just like we could see them at the start of last season. This season, they're much better. They have vets that are supposed to play. But I believe that this all depends on the step forward that the young players take. Cade Cunningham has to take that certified all-star leap. They have all of the recipe there. And it's a little tough because who wants to say that this team is going to go out there and double the wins? But we've seen it done before when you have some of the good young high-level talent that they currently have in Cade Cunningham and others, Jalen Duren, as well as some of the vets that they got on the squad. I do believe that Tobias Harris is being criminally underrated right now. He's going to be a good player for this squad, and they added a lot of shooting, including when you look at what even Bobby Clintman is doing. 3-6 last night.
Well, how about that? Next mailbag question, Shad 216. JF mailbag, is Bobby Clintman the point forward of the future? He says if Ivy gets traded this season, but I'll just say in general.
I don't know if he's going to be the point forward of the future, but in terms of being one of those wing players like how Jeremy Grant was here, I can see him being one of those guys at his highest ceiling. And we've seen how valuable those types of players are in this league because they can do exactly what Motor City Cruise head coach and Summer League assistant coach for the Pistons, Jamel McMillan, said. You can play them anywhere on the court. What I do suspect they're going to do is utilize them in pick and rolls, pick and pops, pick and play make too. So when Cade Cunningham calls for the pick, gives it to him, if the three's not there, you can see him being one of those guys that can handle the rock, that can make the right pass. Also off of what they call like secondary reads. So he cuts into the paint off of a Cade Cunningham. Like if he calls a pick from Jalen Duren, Bobby Clintman flashes into the paint, gets the ball. You trust him to be able to facilitate those types of sets.
Love it. KG, JB, mailbag from Freddie Felt 313. If you could only pick a W between the Cowboys or the Niners game this season, which win would you want more and why?
That's tough. I want to get back at Jerry and them, man. But I would say the 49ers just for the Lions psyche, being able to go into San Francisco, right their wrongs. You might see them again in the playoffs. So toward the end of the year, you really want that dub, man. So I would pick the Niners. I
got to side with you as well, KG, on the Niners.
I thought you was going Cowboys.
No, first off, fuck the Cowboys. I know somehow, some way, no matter what, even if we were to go in there and win, they still disprove the win as something. It was a fluke. Oh, it wasn't supposed to happen. The Lions shouldn't have won that. Or it was a blown call. Jerry's always going to have some excuse to give out. But it's got to be the 49ers just because we want that lick back so bad. Just because we were one play away from icing this game and going to a Super Bowl. That memory will forever live on rent-free in my head until we can pass that moment.
Do you know I delayed watching like the last 3 episodes of Receiver?
I did too.
I just did not want to watch that heartbreak again, man.
If I didn't know that the Niners were going to lose in the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah.
Like knowing that there was pain coming for them too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got
it was one of the few things that made it somewhat palatable.
Yes.
I'd like to just comment because I want to beat the Cowboys more because
I do too.
I think that we're not going to play Dallas in the playoffs. Dallas isn't going to make it far enough to play us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that we could lose to the 49ers and play them in the postseason. I'd probably prefer we lose in the regular season so we have a better chance to win in the postseason. So, and I literally hate the politic reffing and bullshit that happens when you go down to Jerry World. I hope that this year we can break that and we can beat them in Jerry World and give them the L that they deserved last year.
Facts. Juices. Mailbag from Chase Hamley. The Detroit Festival of Books was yesterday. What was the last book you read?
What? At school, probably in April.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was called?
Nope.
Does anybody remember the last book that they read?
In school, 12 years, however many years ago.
Not a big book reading crew.
To Kill a Mockingbird. That was the last one that I read. So
little Harper Lee action.
I just actually got done with a book. I'm trying to remember the title, but it's a very good book. It's about this family coming back to basically bury their mother, but then they find out some weird, deep, dark secrets that they have stashed away in these old VHS tapes.
Oh shit!
Wow.
So like it's like a drama mystery, but
maybe they'll find my high school highlights in there.
I actually also read a Star Wars book about Master and Apprentice, which is the story of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. So I did read that. I think I read it I read it in March to May. So
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, look, you know me. Get up in the morning, got to read the devotional, got to get that kind of good energy going. But the kids, we've been getting them over to the libraries and such, and they've been picking out some pretty cool books. One of them, my oldest, kid Kool-Aid, got the Dragon Ball Z saga.
Hey.
I love it.
Smart man.
Yep.
Hey, reading makes you smarter. Whatever you're reading.
Yep.
I need to read more if I want to be a lyricist in the hip hop world. Anyways, the Shaquille O'Neal mailbag. Who's the most athletic person in the MLB, and is Bronny James more athletic than that person? I love you. This is why I love the goat meal.
I got one already loaded.
Yeah.
Ali De La Cruz.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's more athletic than Bronny James.
What do we mean by athletic?
Interpret as you please.
Size.
I think when the Bronny James reference came up, it was probably your traditional, jump, run, what many think of, like, not necessarily hand-eye coordination, although I factor that in to being athletic. But
absolutely.
Because that's what I was thinking about. It's like just on the sheer nature of what we consider to be athleticism, my mind does go to what Bronny James and generally what you'll see maybe football players, basketball players, even hockey players go through. With baseball players, I don't think that that's a shot or a slight at them, but I do think define what necessarily athleticism means. Because you hear him say like Justin Verlander, because of his achievements on the field, is a better athlete than maybe.
Yeah, I think best athlete of the 21st century versus most athletic human being. I think we're going the most athletic human like running, jumping, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bronny James is athletic. He's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah.
Elliot De La Cruz is more athletic. I think Aaron Judge is more athletic. Jazz Chisholm. I'd say Parker Meadows is probably more athletic than Bronny James.
Damn.
I got to think about that a little more.
Yeah.
Like baseball players are sneaky athletic, and the ones are naming before Parker Meadows are more traditional. Aaron Judge is a freak of nature. At 6'7", he can jump as high as Bronny. I had a list.
What is Bronny?
When I heard it on the heavyweights, I had a list of like 20 names who I would have put ahead. They're out there. Herb Nash, mailbag. Would you trade J-Mo and a draft pick for Brandon Ayuk? I'm going to say no.
No.
Fast.
I'm gonna pass on
Anybody
that.
says yes?
No, I think J-Mo's ceiling is higher than Ayuk's.
And then you just
Oh,
got,
yeah.
you're going to have to
J-Mo
pay
and
Ayuk.
a draft pick?
Yeah, and a draft pick.
No.
And you're going to have to pay Ayuk going forward.
Yep.
And that contract will be way bigger than what a J-Mo contract would be probably in the next 2 years.
It doesn't fit in your cap table at all, especially with repaying Hutch if you even want a remote chance of paying Ali McNeil. Like, there's no room to pay Ayuk. At least J-Mo fits that timeline. If you do need to pay him, it's going to be at a time where you most likely will be able to afford it.
Man, there's so many good questions here. Herb Nash, once again, and I'm going to combine it with Rando Smalls. Herb Nash, mailbag, what would a 4 to 5 person core look like for the Tigers? Who would it consist of? And then Rando Smalls, we'll cover this Tigers questions all in one. With Carpenter going on the 60-day IL, should Tigers go after Rooker from A's so that we have Hooker and Looker? I should have read it through.
Yeah.
4 to 5 man core. We can all do this together. I think it's Riley Green.
Yes.
Colt Keith.
Keith.
We'll include Tarek Skubal.
if he's still here.
If he's here, for sure.
Do you consider Wencel Perez? Do you consider...
He's working his way into the conversation.
You put Colt Keith in there, right?
I put Colt Keith.
All right.
I want to say Parker Meadows. I don't know if we can yet.
Not yet.
Justin Henry Malloy, I think he's close.
He's creeping in.
But can you have a core with a DH?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's a prolific
If he's
DH.
a really good DH.
Yeah.
He's got to have a
185?
above 850 OPS to be considered a core piece as a DH. Like, you're talking, you need to be a David Ortiz. You need to be a Victor Martinez. You need to have a high upside bat that is elite bat to be considered a DH.
Like Rooker and Hooker.
At this point, I would say Reese Olson. Maybe as the fourth
that's a good
piece. I know he just got injured, but he's been consistent throughout the season, although the wins aren't there.
Yeah. And then you hope Jace Young, Lee, and McGonigal Clark work their way.
Exactly.
I don't know if we can put AA, single-A players into the mix.
Not yet.
There's a start. And in terms of trading for Rooker,
it wouldn't cost that much.
Yeah. He's got a couple years of team control. And when I was reading over the weekend, the A's, they're not against moving him, but he and their closer, Mason, not Mason Leach in the chat, Mason
Miller, isn't
Graham.
it?
Graham? The dude who throws 104, Mason.
Jesus.
They're not just going to give him up for nobody, so you'll have to trade some prospects. He'd be a great bat to add. I just don't know. Kerry Carpenter, by the way, moved to the 60-day IL.
Finally.
And I think I misunderstood this when it first was released. He's already been on the IL for, I think, 55 days.
Yeah.
This move is like retroactive to that, so it's not like another 60 days he's
like
on the
5
ideal.
days.
Yeah, so there is a chance he comes back this season. Obviously doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It was probably related to the roster transactions this weekend, but
they probably don't bring him back unless they are really in the hunt for that wild card.
Yeah.
It was no
Why
point.
would you?
It's no point. Yeah.
Why would you? I would love for Carpenter to be a part of the core too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, can you read that mailbag that's on screen real quick?
That greatest college baseball player ever, now not counting Skeens.
And then can you read this one?
It's this guy named Matthew Broder. He was a legend.
Hey!
That's right.
Hey!
Dog,
That wasn't.
the
but thank
picture
you.
for Ryan's reaction is hilarious.
I know.
Yeah.
Ryan's reaction always comes with the heat, the profile picture
They
heat.
get Sam every time. It's so easy. Sam, you got to stop spazzing so much.
There were some great ones out there. I'm just going to be biased. I'm going to say Jim Abbott and Barry Larkin. So there we go. How about one more? Let me find one more question.
A little bit of overtime. Let's rock.
Could we trade for him with cash, Dante151? I'm assuming Rooker. No. They
not just cash.
And baseball.
No. Yeah. It have to be a player plus
yeah,
cash.
even if it's single A,
yeah.
People will take on prospects like it's Hungry Hippo.
I wish we could pay just cash.
All right, screw it. We'll stay Tigers. Mailbag. Does the series against the Guardians and Twins decide whether the Tigers are buyers or sellers at the deadline?
Absolutely.
Or do you believe the decision has already been made?
What?
What do you guys think?
I do think a lot is predicated on these next two series, but I think they have an idea. I don't know if they have a full-fledged plan in place or whether the decision is made, but I do think that they have an idea of what they want to do, and they're just waiting to see how these two series play out and if they can actually get back into this thing.
If they lose both series, they're selling.
Yeah, clearly.
100%.
Clearly.
They will be too far out at that point. If they win one of the series, that's when the decision will kind of be, all right, what's the best course of action here? Like, it makes sense to keep going for it, but if you win both series, they're 100% going to buy because they most likely will have gained ground on the wild card and be in a good position for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I want to say I think the decision's already been made, but how much, like...
So you think they selling?
I don't know if it's like a sell-off. I think it's they're selling their 1 year... I think they're selling Flaherty.
Yeah.
I think I should say trading Flaherty, Canna,
more like
Urshela.
housekeeping stuff.
Yes,
and Flaherty's going to get that third start. I told you. I think it looks like he's going to start that third.
Set it for that Monday, Monday before the deadline. Like selling. Now, do they trade Carson Kelly? He's on a 1 year contract. Can you try to extend him or whatnot? Like.
Maybe package them and something.
And look,
but it's whether do they try to get back a close to major league AAA player in some trade versus a single AA player with more upside. Like that's the type of neutral buying and selling they do. It's if they go 2-6 in their next 8 games, maybe they go for that higher potential single A prospect instead of a AAA player that may be able to help them this year or next year. Like that's the type of difference that the next couple games will make, I think. Just an opinion, by the way.
And we've been here several times this season, especially over the last couple of weeks, and the Detroit Tigers have responded. So if they do the same, we should be sitting here in about a week talking about, this team has to be buyers. Who thought? Remember when we talked about this? They're about to face a gauntlet of a season.
Oh, yeah.
A gauntlet of a stretch during the season. Who thought that they were going to go through the Dodgers, the Guardians, and everybody else they have to this point and close that gap, not just as it relates to getting closer to 500, but the wild card race. So they're going to give themselves a good shot. I don't think anybody is going to count out the Detroit Tigers, but obviously we know that it's going to be an uphill battle.
Even if they're out of it, the key is that they're still playing hard and finding ways to win games. Like that's regardless of what they do at the deadline. That's what we can look for in the second half of the season and get excited about. It's the same young team that couldn't hit 2 months ago. The fact that they're able to figure it out against the Dodgers, but also the Blue Jays, it's just fun. It's exciting baseball finally.
All in all, this is the most competitive they've been in years.
Yeah.
So that is one positive to take away. It seems like
with all the flaws too.
Yeah. It seems like they are headed in the right direction going forward, man. So that's all you can ask for.
I'll let Justin give us that last word because his reactions have been up, down. Where are you at right now with the Tigers, bro?
I'm hopeful, I guess. I just hope that
Back on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I hope that this weekend against the Guardians and the Twins goes well that we can be in a position where I'm locked in for the rest of the season. We don't sell off. That's all I'm asking for. I mean, at least they've had me locked in. They've had me paying attention. Like my girlfriend got not upset with me, but she gave me like this look because we were in the middle of the music festival and I checked the score of the Tigers game and they won and I was like, yeah, let's go.
You know what? Yeah. I love that, man. That right there, that's that energy, man.
Yeah.
We love our sports.
We sick of seeing them sell, man. Just buy, man. Let's
be
go
aggressive. And they're right there,
go
too.
for it, man.
We all were like, hey, there's a recipe for them to kind of hover around 500, but now they're actually there. It's just like,
they get a long ball hitter. That'll go a long way.
Exactly.
I promise you. Bring them home, man. Bring Vladdy home.
Bring Vladdy home.
Tigers.
Bring them home.
You know what, man? As we get into Lions season, as we talk about the Tigers, they got us kind of feeling good right now. We're going to have to bring out the greatest moments, best players, things like that. Get into some of this Detroit history culture.
Skirt.
Man, let's break this thing down.
Let's go, baby. Take us around.
Broder got a good pass, man. Good chest pass. I like that. Right in the pocket. Let me check here, man. Hey, shout out to the chat family. We zoom right on past that like goal. If you haven't yet, go ahead and smash that like button. But this has been a good show. Good start to the week. Hey, thank you for everything you guys have done, and chat family, what you all have done as well to engage, to keep the chat jumping, man. It's been an awesome show. Shout out to Flannel Sam. He is the 5th member of the starting 5, the vet of the squad. He will be on Big D Energy today. But let's break this thing down. That dude Justin in the building. I love it. The Go Blue, the Motor City Connect jersey, and you brought the heat today.
I also have a Lion shirt on. I just show love to everybody.
Look at you.
Shout out Detroit Sports. I love you. I know I'm critical, but I just want to be good, and I just want to enjoy watching my sports teams every time I sit down and I spend the time to do so. And we're getting to that point. So shout out to you guys. Thank you. Great show. And thank you, chat family. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on Big D Energy.
And as optimistic as I am about our squads, man, you don't ever have to apologize because your passion, we know that it's authentic and it's coming from a place of care. I want people who talk about our squads to have that passion, whether we agree or disagree. So shout out to you, man. Hey, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. That is KG.
Yes,
on
sir.
the way to Woodward Sports MVP, aka Black Hollywood.
You know it, man. Great show today. Shout out to my team. Shout out to the chat. Hey, make sure y'all tap in for that NCAA tournament Wednesday night, man. It's going down. Can't wait, man. And let's keep this shit rolling, bro.
Hey, let's keep it rolling. In the TD booth. Tuesday is just a day away. That is Woodward Sports MVP. JB Smooth.
Bizzle. It's been an amazing show. I definitely need some more practice on college football 25 before Wednesday gets here.
Better get right.
Because it's gonna be a rough game for me, especially I know it. My skills aren't up to par. But once again, great show from you guys. And the book, by the way, is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. Great read. I like her writing style, and the cover art is amazing as well too. It's a VHS tape with blood on it.
I'll catch it when it becomes a movie.
It'll definitely become a movie. It'll definitely become a movie.
So he read your mind, huh?
Yeah, he read my mind straight up.
I'll catch it when it hit theaters, man.
Great read if you got time.
Shout out to this guy here, Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer for the network. Does a lot for this show. What up, Doe, bro?
What up, Doe? Have a great weekend. Week. Happy Monday.
He froze George Springer.
This guy
left him looking.
He had such a weekend. He's still in weekend mode.
It was a two-seamer.
Nice, man.
A little two-seamer.
Let's go. You just whipped it out, huh?
Yeah. I think I remember the pitch sequence. Well, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, JB, the Lee Machines got you in the NCAA tournament. He just said JB winning.
Oh, shout out to Lee Machines.
Hey, I'll be there to be the sacrificial lamb. So, yeah, if we talk 2K, maybe college football, I'll have fun. Let's just call it that. It's your boy Justin's laughing at me. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good show. Have a great day. Be blessed. It's Wake Up Woodward.
Broder.